The United States Postal Service needs to be unmonopolized. It's a government-enforced monopoly, and when I'm elected president, I will take away the monopoly of the United States Postal Service. I'm that LA libertarian. I want to talk about USPS and how we can fix that, and how in my second term we will use the same logic to fix the public school systems. But first, let's start with the Postal Service. The United States Postal Service has many, many advantages. It is a government-enforced monopoly regarding the daily delivery of regular paper mail. No one else is allowed to do this. And whenever the United States Postal Service needs money, it is able to raise the price of stamps. The price of stamps have gone up and up and up since 1970, despite all of the great technology advances that have come along. Can you imagine if the cost of making phone calls or using computers had gone up and up and up since 1970? This would not be a good thing, but it's happening with the United States Postal Service because it has a government-enforced monopoly. I will take away that monopoly and allow anyone that wants to deliver mail. Of course, the entity known as the USPS will still exist, and we can allow it to become a public company and to continue operating. We're not going to abolish those jobs at all. It'll simply have to be a privately run public company, not a government-subsidized company. USPS can borrow money from the U.S. Treasury at very favorable rates. This is not a good thing for a business. In addition, it is pretty much exempt from SEC regulations. Again, not a good thing for a business overall, even though I have some problems with the SEC, but that's another rant. Furthermore, the labor at the United States Postal Service is unbelievable. The average employee is paid about 25% more than a factory-level counterpart doing the same type of work. No wonder the amount of money spent by the United States Postal Service on labor accounts for 2/3 of its budget. Private companies that do package delivery and letter, next day air letter delivery, generally, their labor costs are about 50%. And keep in mind that they often are wrestling with unions, for example. So, the United States Postal Service is a very, very inefficient monopoly. Anyone that has visited a post office probably will agree with me that it is not the most efficient place in the world. So, I'm going to take away the government monopoly and force the entity known as the United States Postal Service to become a public company. We will allow them to do that, and that'll be fine. The employees will stay. I'm sure they'll reduce some through attrition, but they will become a public company. That is what has to happen. Now, how does this factor into the public schools, you may ask? Well, this same notion of privatization can be applied to the public schools. Anyone that has visited a public school, particularly in a rough neighborhood in the United States of America, knows that the public schools, with their monopoly, are not working all that well either. And just like with the United States Postal Service, some private alternatives have arisen, and they work a lot better. So, as quickly as I can, but it'll probably be in my second term, I will attempt to privatize schools. I do believe that citizens of the United States deserve some money to go to schools. So I'll see what I can do to give an educational voucher to people each year from the age of 0 to 18. I think that would be a fine compromise, because I do want people to get education. Anyone that wants to be in America deserves education. So that's how we're going to fix the United States Postal Service, and that is how we will eventually fix the United States public school system as well. I'm that LA libertarian. I'm running for president, and you're all libertarians. You just may not know it yet.